Okay, this is kind of a response to a talk that I think his name is Father Barron gave, and I was intrigued by it for hearing why the reasons were that he felt that it was unwarranted that many Catholics were leaving the Catholic Church for whatever reasons that they had, um, and understanding it from the point of view of why he didn't feel that other people's arguments, I guess, or reasons or whatever were valid. And I have an opinion on three different levels, sort of. Um, one I think of as a personal level and comparing that to a transpersonal level. Another one has to do with what I call game over. So I think the first one is that on a personal level, if you were to hear of a friend who was experiencing similar things to that which either adults or children had experienced, unfortunately, by their association with the Catholic Church, if you heard about that, you would probably instruct that person to come to your house and stay, and you would call the police, and there would be, what's that paper that you can't get near someone? Yeah, like order of protection or something. I mean, you would be so swift about it, because to think that there was physical abuse or emotional abuse or sexual abuse or anything like that, you would want to do anything to help your friend to make sure that they're safe. So why is it at all any different when it's a group or institution, or even worse, a group that's claiming spiritual expression? Well, it missed the mark on that, right? So that, people are as they do, not what they claim, I think, a lot of times, or what they think of themselves to be, right? And me included, by the way. So the other part is something I call game over. Now, I don't mean game over like when you in a video game. No, I mean game over as in when the rules no longer apply because safety comes into play. And I'll give you an example of that. Growing up, taking very seriously the Sabbath, when safety becomes an issue, you will drive, which is something you wouldn't have done on the Sabbath. Because game over. No more time to play that game. God understands it's time to get you to the hospital. Your life is in danger. But let's say, for instance, I remember the rabbi walked home from the Saturday morning after his wife had given delivery. And the reason why is because his life was no longer in danger. But driving there was acceptable. You see the difference, right? So if not at that time, well then when would it be the correct time to leave? And this is kind of part of something else I think about it. There are a lot of people who have left the U.S. because they call themselves expatriates or whatever. They don't stay within the system to solve it. But I don't know about the hierarchy of the church at all, but I don't know for a fact that anything comes from the bottom down. I thought it would come from the top down. So why would staying in the church confirm the fact that any improvement would happen at all? Because, and I hate to put it in these financial terms, but people understand when their pocketbook is hit. People are leaving, then there's less money in the church, so to say. Not that it's like really affected by it, but I don't know, because I think I've heard like millions of dollars in lawsuits or something. So, that's obviously going to make an impact. But what I don't understand is, on a very critical level, how any of the choices that fell through the cracks so many times and so consistently, how people who consider themselves to be Christian at all could make in good conscience any of those choices, knowing the dangers that they were putting people into. And yet, I don't think they all know the dangers. I don't think they all recognize how people's lives have been impacted to to the degree that they are, because I think that if they did have a true knowledge of that, there's no way they could have made that decision. And I wonder if kind of not looking at it from a psychological point of view is part of the problem that those people who were making those decisions had. So if I didn't talk your ear off, and yeah, feel free to tell me, you know, I don't know anything I'm talking about, because I don't know anything about the Catholic Church. I just watched this video, so there you go. And thanks very much. I wish you all blessings of peace.